Hello students. So in our last part, we're watching how we can use such a large number. So it's always good to put a large or capital or a small L in the last, which simply tells that this is large number or it belongs to the long data type. And doing this helps to easily accommodate this large number to this variable, and then after assigning the value to this variable, we are now using it here. So let us once see the execution, and then we will continue with something new. A kind of light revision, the last part. Mhm. It's telling you that the integer number is too large. Yes, this is too large. We have already seen in our last video that how large number can be, how much large number can be accommodated or adjusted or can be assigned to a long data type. But when we are compiling, this is showing this kind of error. But dear students, see that L which I have just put now here is not present here. So it simply indicates that I have put the L, but I have not saved it, or I have saved, but the button was not properly pressed, Control S, so it was not saved. So these things happen. So do it once again, press Control S, or if such thing happens, then go there and save. It's saved. Okay, now it's saved. If it would have not been saved, then this would be highlighted. So now it is saved. Once again, we may go back to the command prompt. And then, yes, now successfully compiled. Look, this large number can be now used. So dear students, up to this, we just saw 4 different integer data types. Now we'll also learn how we can use floating point numbers. Floating point numbers means the numbers having decimal point in them. So we have 2 floating point data types. One is float, f1 equals 2.345, and one is double, t1 equals any number point this. Now what? Let us output them also, or let us do one thing. For right now, let us make them comment, because this has already been seen so many number of times and we have already understood. So this will make our program easy to understand, because useless things will not be executed. I'm not saying the things useless, but less thing will appear on the screen and will be clear for us to understand. System.out.println what value of f1, the variable f1, simply f1. And the variable of value d1 and d1 here. Now press Ctrl S, then go back, press up arrow to see the. Now here also you'll see something like this. So we need to learn how to handle such situations. Okay, incompatible types, possibly lossy conversion from double to float. Look, students, when we simply write a number, as we were writing in the case of this also, so it understands it in a different way. I may not be able to make everything clear in this moment, But let me find out a simple solution for this. Press F here, F, and let us see what happens. Now the problem is solved. How? Actually, this was sensing it in a double data type. Sensing in a double data type means sensing in a double, it was considering, although we have written float F1 and trying to assign this value to F1, and it is of course floating point data, but when we simply write any number, it, due to save data from loss, the system, the Java, understand these numbers in form of double. I mean, float point of numbers in double, and double takes 8 bytes, while float take 4 bytes, and therefore, when we have written like this, it was telling that lossy conversion and all. Look at this, lossy conversion from double to float. That means for system, for compiler, I'm trying to put the double data into float. This is what a compiler is sensing. Yes, I'm trying to, it is considering this as double, but I'm putting this contained to a float data, which is of just 4 byte. Like I'm pouring milk from one container to another container, and this first container is of 2 liter. Suppose the capacity of the first container is 2 liter, and I'm trying to pour the milk from the 2 liter container to the 1 liter container. So this is what the compiler is sensing. Means it is considering this as a double data type. Means it will take 8 byte. It's thinking so. But here I am writing float F1. I mean 4 byte capacity. So it's warning you. It's telling you that by conversion flow from double to float will lead to the loss of data. Of course, if a 2 liter container is full, and if you'll pour the fluid from 2 liter container to 1 liter container, then it will overflow. It will be a loss. So to avoid that, it's warning you. So now what I'm telling by F that okay, don't worry. This is just 1 liter. I mean 1 liter. Don't worry. No, there will be no loss. So this is what it tells, and now it has understood with F a float 4 byte, and now it has no problem. These things you will understand slowly. You will not get it in just first go. So this is how it's working. So what is the difference between float and double? Difference is there. I'll show you. What floating point numbers have a fractional part. It's usually expressed with decimal point. This is the definition of floating point number. You should use floating point in Java program whenever you need the number, such as like this. Uh, float uses 4 byte, whereas double is also there. Maybe discussed in this topic, and double take you. We have already discussed. We are just revising these things, so it will be easy for you to understand. And yes, this is not the class dedicated to discussion of data types. Data types is another topic that will be discussed in another video. So I just said you that a float uses 4 bytes, whereas double uses 8 bytes. Anything more about it? So no. Here about range, something may be discussed. Okay. Range is also not discussed. It's okay, no problem. We'll find it somewhere else. it's easy to find. Okay. Range of float data type in Java. Lot of ads are there. There's distance. Look at this. A list of all those data types which we have already seen. Float, it takes 4 bytes, and see what's the range. The range is plus or minus 3.40283 E plus 38. F stands for float. Now E plus 38 means E to the power, 10 to the power 38. 10 to the power 38. So doubles capacity, the range 1.79 this into 10 to the power 308. It's extremely huge, extremely large number. I'll tell you about this also, ki how big these numbers are. I'll tell you. But one more point that I'd like to tell you here is, look, after decimal point, how many digits are there? Let me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. After decimal point in float data type, we have 8 decimal digits. Now in double, how many are there? Let us count once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Actually 15. Look at this point. 6 to 7 significant decimal digit and 15 significant decimal digit. Means this is also called the precision. Precision means accuracy. Float is capable of displaying only 6 to 7 digits after a decimal point. After a decimal point, the float data type is able to show only 6 to 7 decimal digit. As in this case, we have 7 or 8 decimal digits are there. But the double data type is more accurate because it can show you around 15 decimal digits after decimal point, like this lengthy. So this gives you more accurate result. Now you may be understanding that yes, we are getting this, but what about this E plus 38F, E plus 38308? What is this? So dear students, it's really something very important to understand. So I'll tell you this once again. So for this, to understand this, what this exactly tells, plus 38 and all this, I'll show you something in Excel. So look, I'm writing some number, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Okay. Both are same number. It's normal and it's what? It's also normal, but Excel has a lot of features. Look, if you'll go to format cell by pressing Control 1, then what? In number section, you'll find lot of different formats where you'll find scientific. And when we'll press scientific, you'll see something like this. What is this? This is the normal notation of a number. And this is the scientific notation of a number, the same number. These both represent the same thing. How? Let me make this point very clear. Although the scientific notation is also used by us while learning, we learn in school, but we do not represent scientific number this way. like this. But then how do we represent a scientific number? Scientific number are scientific notations are used to represent large numbers in a small format. Then why it is called scientific notation? Look, dear students, when we study science, then science has a lot of different fields. Bio is there, physics is there, chemistry is there, and all of them include various different calculations. Like if you want to measure the uh, weight of uh, universe, weight of universe, weight of apple can we measure, weight of rice we can measure, a weight of mass of universe, how can we? So universe itself is a very large thing, means we cannot even think of its vastness, and we have to measure the weight or in the milligram. So these kind of, or the weight of an electron, these are uh, very large number or very small numbers. So this kind of numbers which are used in science cannot be normally represented this way, that weight of universe is this much kilogram. We cannot do like this. So we need some special notation to represent very large number in a small format. For that, the scientific notation is introduced. But how do we represent the scientific notation when we use the paper and pen? So let me tell you how. So first of all, count the number of digit in this. So count it: one, two, let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, in total 8 digits are there. Fine. Now how do we represent this number in a scientific notation? We simply do what? We write the first digit 4, then we put a point, and then we write 2, 3, 4 as per our requirement of the precision. 2, 3, 4 digits after 4. I mean, after 4, how many digits are? 5, 8, 7 is there. So we write 5, 8, 7. You may write, or now we'll say, sir, why can't we write 9, 6, 5, 2? Then if you're writing the whole numbers, then what the need of using the scientific notice? We have to reduce its size. The motto is to reduce the size. So we can write 587, or we can also write 5987 can be rounded off to 59 also. Yes, that can be done to just reduce. Uh, it's not exact, it's just more accurate. Hmm. Then we use into 10 to the power. Now you have to uh, count the number of digits after first digit. In total, we have 8 digits. So one digit we have written here. So how many digits are left? 7 digits. So we'll write 10 to the power 7. So 4.59 into 10 to the power 7. So this is the scientific notation of this number. Now correlate this and this. So in computer and programming, it's not easy to represent to the power, the superscript format and all. So this kind of representation is used. Look at the similarity: 4.59 e exponentiation. Here it is power 7. Here also 07 represent the same thing. Now how can we reconvert the scientific notation to a normal number? It's also quite easy. If this is the task given to you and it is said to convert it to normal format, then how can we do that? So this to the power 7, I'm telling you just a simple trick. I'm not teaching you maths, I'm just telling you a simple trick how to convert and all. This to the power tells us that how many digits will be there after the first digit, or after the digit before the point. So before decimal point, how many digits we have? We have only one digit, that is 4. There may be more digits, but right now in this case we have one. This 7 indicates that yes, uh, means when the decimal will be removed from here, then there must be 7 digits in total. So write 4, and after this means writing 4, and after this we must have 7 digits in total. So out of 7 digits, what 7 digits will be then? So out of those 7 digits, first 2 digits we already know, that is 5 and 9. So write 5 and 9. How many digits now left? Out of 7 digits, we have written 2 digits, that is 5 and 9. Now 5 more digits are left. So what are those 5 more digits? So no idea. Just put 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the number. Now what? You will tell sir, this number is not equal to this number. A lot of difference is there. Yes. So this is what the thing is. So when we convert any scientific notation to normal, so there is some loss. But if a number is very, very large, then little bit of loss is considerable. Or if you do not want the loss, then you will have to increase the precision here. I mean, instead of writing just 5 9, we could have written here like 4.5879 into, or let me just copy this and paste it and make the correction here. 5879 into 10 to the power. This could be also written. And now when this has to be converted back to the normal number, then the same rule has to be followed. First we write the digits before the decimal, whatever digits are there. In this case, only one digit is 4 I've written. Now after 4, we must have only 7 digits. So 4 is the first digit. Then out of 7 digits, first 4 digits are given there. 5879 is there. In total, 7 digits will be there. So out of 7 digits, this 4 digits I've written, 3 more digits are needed. So 1, 2, 3 zeros has to be put. So now compare this, and this. This is the exact number, actual number. But this is more closer to this. Why? Because the precision is high. Higher than what? Higher than this. This is called, it has precision of 2 digit only. It has precision of 4 digit only. So precision does what? Precision makes the number more accurate. And that's what I was telling you about the precision. This is what the precision is. This is precision of 15 digit, this is precision of 6, 7 or 8 digit. And this E plus 38 or E plus 308 means the number of power. So look at this. This simply means 10 to the power 38. 10 to the power 38 means, it means that after the first digit, sit back, a little enlargement will help you. 3. After 3, we'll have in total 38 digits. Let us try to find it out. What kind of number that will be? 38. Let us do something with it. Into 10 to the power 38, dear students. This is that number. This is the range of float. Now let us try to convert this number in normal format. Right? Look at this. 3. Then we need to have 38 digit in total after the first digit. So out of 38, we have how many digits? Right, 402, 82, 347. How many digits? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So dear students, look, Excel cannot accommodate that big number. So it has automatically converted that into the scientific notation. But still, if you wish to write it like that way, then then there is a way of doing this. So how can we do this? Put an apostrophe and then write the number. And then you can write anything in that long way. So 40282347. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So now count this number using ones, tens, hundred, thousand, million, billion, trillion. It will be very tough for you to even count this number. This is such a big number. This is the number which is represented by the float data type in this way, or in this way, or in this way. Now you'll see here and find that this is the range of 308. Now think of such a large number which has 300, total 309 digit number. Such a big number. Such a big number. So look, dear students. So this is the capacity. This is the range of numbers in negative as well as the positive side that can be represented in Java using various data types. We'll see more about the different data types in our subsequent classes, but still it will help you to understand that how big the range is and what is the capacity of float and double. So where do we need these data types? So you may need this data type anywhere you need. Anywhere if the result is going to come in the decimal point, like if you want to calculate the interest, then float can be used or double can be used. If you are sure that there is no situation where decimals can be used, like the number of tickets sold for a show, or number of students in a class, or population, these cannot be in point. We will not have 50.6 student in a class, no. So according to the situation, we decide what data, like we have to calculate average, then average usually comes in point. So we'll have to take uh, these data types. We have to choose wisely which data type we have to use. As I said, if you are making a scientific program where you have to measure the weight of electron or weight of universe or something similar to that, a bacteria, virus, if you are working with their mass and weight and their whatever, so in those cases float, even double may be applicable. So being a programmer, you have to decide that at what situation we have to use which data type. Let me help you a little more that where we can use these things. Suppose you are given given a program to make in test or anywhere, that enter marks obtained by students in a given test. Tests are usually of 100 marks normally, or even less. So out of these available data types, you just tell me, or you just think which data type suits better. Then byte data type suits better because its range is what? Look at the range. It can accommodate minus this to positive this. So we know that 100 mark more, there is no test is going to having marks more than 100. So this best suits this situation. This best suits this situation. So where this place will use the byte data type. Similarly, if you are supposed to make a program to have the total number of students in our school, so or in a school normally, so in schools we do not have right now more than these many students. So in this case, sort data type can be used, or number of tickets sold in a cinema hall or any auditorium having this much capacity only can be used this data type. If you want to enter the salary or the sum deposited in bank for getting the interest and all, integer may be fine. For getting the turnover of any big company, we have this range of number that can be easily represented in integers without using decimal point.